Manifest can be a very confusing series at times, even for those hardcore watchers in the massive fanbase. The latest cliffhanger of Season 4 was jaw-dropping and put the fanbase into a different type of mood for the series going forward. But what exactly happened? Well, stay tuned to today's video as we discuss Manifest Season 4 Part 1 and explain what went down in the finale. First up, the ending of Manifest Season 4 Part 1 explained. If you thought that the Manifest writers couldn't beat the nail-biting ending of the third season, then you would be completely wrong, as the ending of the first part of Season 4 was jaw-dropping for fans all around the world. The ending of Manifest Season 4 Part 1 was insane, so if you haven't watched it, please come back after viewing this phenomenal episode, as we are going to go deep into discussing what went down and how it affected the fanbase. We have a lot to unpack, as there was another tragic and unexpected death, as well as we finally learn about the future of the Alfire Sapphire, as well as the characters who absorbed its various powers. We also have to discuss the fate of the whole world, as it is now at stake following the Part 1 finale. And it's not just going to affect those who boarded Flight 828, as the entire world is now in danger. So, let's dig in. Zeke dies. Zeke had been suffering throughout this entire season with the burden of feeling everything as he learned that the only person who can save everyone from their death is Cal. Originally, the cast thought that the only people in danger were those from Flight 828, but it was revealed that the entire world was in danger and Cal saved everyone. Unfortunately, Cal's cancer had returned and he only had a few days to live. This put Zeke in a very impossible situation, and one he didn't imagine he would ever have to be in. He even ended up escaping his death date, just as he and Michaela had celebrated their anniversary. However, he realized that he is the only person who can save Cal, so he absorbs cancer through his special powers of empathy. He then dies in Michaela's arms, next to Cal's bed, who is now feeling fine. The show is increasingly blurring the various lines between life and death that are very static in television series, especially with the themes that Manifest uses. Hopefully, in the future, Michaela and Zeke had the opportunity to communicate with one another, as even the creators and writers themselves have said that they would love to see this on screen. It was a really sad death, but one that is going to fuel the fire going forward for the entire group, so we can't wait to see what the consequences of this are. Angelina and Cal are now extremely powerful. Because of Zeke, Cal is now free of his cancer and was finally revealed to be the dragon. The dragon is the one who can save the entire world from the death date, and the ending of Season 4 Part 1 sets up an enormous showdown between him and Angelina shortly. Angelina is of course the big bad of the fourth season, so this fight is just inevitable at this point. Whilst Cal ultimately succeeded in shattering the Omega Sapphire and seemingly destroying Angelina somehow, he also proved himself to be the dragon who could hopefully save the entire world from what's going on in Manifest. Angelina herself also emerges from a church with a fraction of the Omega Sapphire embedded in her hand, making her even more powerful than she was before. This is going to be interesting to see how it plays out later down the line, but the creator of the series himself spoke to Variety about what this might mean going forward. Here is what he said. Speaking to Variety, Rake noted, "Angelina is more powerful than ever, and whatever dark power or dark force exists in the universe of this television show, she now is that personified. And to whatever extent one needs Omega Sapphire to save the passengers, one is going to need Angelina to find salvation for the passengers, or so it seems. It's gonna be a hell of a surprise when our heroes discovered that she's out there, and when they do discover that, it will be a more formidable force of darkness than they can even imagine." It seems like both Cal and Angelina, and now channeling their enormous power of the Omega Sapphire, the callings uneven the divine consciousness for different purposes respective to one another. Angelina is a self-described archangel and is set to bring vengeance upon evil and even lead the righteous to salvation. Cal as well is set to save everybody from Angelina and make sure the world is safe once again. Whatever is in store for Season 4 Part 2, when Manifest returns, we can't wait to see what this apocalyptic showdown between the two is going to look like. They are setting up a huge supernatural battle between the two, but we cannot wait to see what it looks like on screen. We hope that they put a good amount of budget into this fight, as it could look awesome on screen if everything goes to plan. All the 828ers are detained. Though we have of course been discussing the main characters in the series, various other characters are going to play heavily into the second part of Season 4 and played deep into the story of the finale of Part 1. These are the rest of the 828ers, and they have been detained. Things are going much worse for the remaining passengers, as if it wasn't already bad enough to disappear mid-flight for 5 years. years without even realizing, and then become enemy number one upon landing once again. When Angelina loses even for a second time, this time by Eden's own choice. Eden then chooses to be with her father instead of Angelina. Eden's decision makes Angelina start to scream, which is a scream that reverberates through the minds of every living Flight 828 passenger. People are understandably extremely freaked out by hundreds of people randomly screaming at once. So much so, by the end of the episode, all of these 828ers have been detained by the police. This isn't going to make saving the world any easier, and we're excited to see all of the consequences of this decision in the second part of Season 4. Season 4 is shaping up to be the best season of Manifest, even if all of these crazy powers and things going on are a little different from what we're used to. This show changed over time and went from a pretty simple mystery drama to one full of powers and supernatural effects. This doesn't mean the series is bad, however, as we are liking the path it's going down right now, especially after the series was brought back from being canceled. The series is going to wrap up in a really good way, and we're excited to see what Part 2 has installed. Let us know down in the comments section below your thoughts on Manifest Season 4 Part 1, and what is possibly going to happen when Part 2 rolls around next year. And now, on to some other Manifest news and information to wrap up today's video. Finally, Manifest surprising fan theories. To end off today's video, let's discuss some of the craziest and most surprising fan theories about Manifest according to Reddit. Over the years of Manifest being on the air, fans have been going crazy about the true meaning of the entire series. Though the series itself explained various parts of what was truly going on and how the powers of each character are connected, the show still has a lot of unanswered questions, as well as things fans just want to talk about. So let's get into some things that fans have discussed surrounding the series. Cal knew Grace would be killed. Cal, Olive's fraternal twin and a survivor of Flight 828, is one character that fans have brought into question quite a lot throughout the years. He drew all of his callings into a sketchbook, but like the others, he didn't understand what any of his visions meant at the time of having them. In the series, he ended up meeting Angelina, but didn't believe that there was anything strange about her in the first place, unlike the rest of her family, who had all gained suspicions about the girl. One Reddit user ended up speculating that Cal knew that his mother was going to die in the first place, and that there was no way to avoid the event. According to this Reddit user, even if he knew that Grace's death couldn't be changed, he insisted and even pressured his other family members to accept Angelina into his family. When Cal aged 5 years, he returned to his home to find Grace on the floor, and he wasn't surprised in seeing her dying one bit. This is a really interesting theory and makes sense because of all of the visions Cal had been having. Maybe he figured out one of them and realized that Grace was meant to die for everything else to happen in the series. I guess we won't know now that Cal is dead in the series, but it's a really interesting theory nonetheless. Angelina's villain origin story. The passengers experienced callings or visions as to what they should do next in Manifest. There wasn't much of an explanation as to why they should complete the task beforehand. In Season 3, Michaela, Melissa Roxburgh, following a calling to a home in Costa Rica where she found Angelina, Holly Taylor, a passenger on Flight 828, tied up in a room. Once Michaela freed Angelina, the girl traveled back home with Michaela and stayed with the Stones for a few days. Angelina tried to connect with the Stone family and assisted them with finding clues as to what linked the callings with the flight disappearance. Angelina was raised in a religious family and would often think that the callings were tied to biblical references. And that's all we have to discuss Manifest Season 4 Part 1. Its insane cliffhanger and surprising fan theories surrounding it in today's video. Please let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Hopefully you enjoyed this latest video. If you did, would you please let us know in the comments section below? It would be very helpful. Make sure to like the video, comment down below, and of course, subscribe to the channel with the notification bell rung. Thank you for watching. Bye!